All right, what's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine. About to do this spoiler discussion, so welcome to the spoiler discussion on the Joker. I watched the Joker this weekend, and I did my review on it. Wasn't that long. It's a lot of stuff in this movie that I felt I couldn't talk about unless it'd be really spoiling it, and there's some stuff that happened that was like to me it was some game changing stuff, some game changing for comic book movies. So let's jump into it, man. As you know, the Joker movie is about the origin of the Joker. It's changed very much from the comics. It is its own thing. This movie is basically it's very similar to me to Taxi Driver, where at the end, if anybody's seen Taxi Driver, starring Robert De Niro back in I think it was '76. That movie was about a lonely man that was slowly kind of losing his mind, and at the end he tried to do something drastic. And this was like a very similar premise or whatever, and they had Robert De Niro in this movie, so I think this is almost like a remake of Taxi Driver a little bit, but with the Joker spin on it. So things that stood out to me the most. Okay, like I said, this is about Joker origin. It's about the guy named Arthur Fleck that ends up that work as a clown. He ended up losing his job. Now the way he lost his job, the way he lost his job as a clown is one of the guys that worked with him gave him a gun. Was like, yeah, you got to protect yourself. Here go a gun. And at first he refused it and was like, I don't want the gun. I'm not supposed to have a gun. Plus, I got mental health issues. They told me I shouldn't have a gun or whatever. I said, no, man, go ahead, take this gun. You cool. So he gave him a gun. So now he's going around everywhere with this gun. And this is bad. So, I mean, you got somebody already dealing with mental health issues and, they got a gun. Oh, boy. So, this is how he ended up losing his job was he brought the gun with him when he did to when he went to a children's hospital. They ordered a clown. He went to the children's hospital. He doing a little dance or whatever, and the gun falls out. So, of course, he's going to lose his job. So this is what brings the part that kind of bothered me. I ain't gonna say bothered me, but okay. So if you see on the subway on this scene where he's dealing with these guys on the subway, he started laughing. They messing with him, so they started beating him and stuff. So he actually, to me, that was kind of like self-defense. Somebody's beating the crap out of you. Three dudes beating the crap out of you. You pull out a gun. I mean, that was kind of self-defense. So he ended up using that gun on those guys. So that ended up being a big key thing in a movie. That when that happened, that kind of triggered something. And no pun intended, but that triggered something where it kind of started this whole movement with these people wearing these clown. They wearing clown makeup, and because it was a witness. It was a witness say, hey, it was a guy in clown makeup. He was the last guy seen with these guys. And then and it kind of started this movement of people saying, these guys were some rich dudes, and this guy was trying to fight against the establishment or whatever. Of course, it was just self-defense in his part, but the media took it and ran with it, So they was like, oh yeah, just kill a clown on the loose and all that. So it kind of made him feel good that people was talking about him now, because he always felt like nobody saw him, nobody cared about him. So now people are talking about him. People are dressing up like him and stuff. So now it's just, and he said later in the movie, I did something I thought would be bad, but I ended up kind of liking it, or it was good or something like that. So, so he started kind of like the fame a little bit, So like I said, that's why I said this kind of started like a little trigger something. So so he started to be more confident. Like after that thing, he's being more confident. That's where you see him more. He's doing this little dance. He do that little dance in the bathroom, right there. He do the little dance, and that's kind of like him gaining his confidence or whatever. And then he, go ahead and go after the girl that he's been liking, the girl that's in this apartment building that he's been liking, open the door, and then they just make out. I knew something was immediately wrong with that. So okay, Zazie Beetz plays his love interest in the movie, and she is in this apartment building. She got a daughter, and they live in the same place. She run into him in the elevators. She say hi, she speak to him, but he's a little weird. So she you could tell she was creeped out, and then later, the next day, he's following her. He follow her to drop her kid off in school. That's a no-no. So anyway, he following her to work. So now he know where she works. He know where her kids go to school. It's like, okay, this is not cool. And then later, and she come to his house like, you follow me? All right, that's cool. Like, I'm looking like, huh? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? How was that cool? So, this spawned a little relationship, So I told you, after he got his confidence, he went and just, made out with her, and then she accepted him, and now she's his girlfriend and stuff. And I already had a problem with that. Not the fact that he got a hot chick, but the fact that you can't stalk someone and watch them drop their kid off and all that, and then out of nowhere they want to be with you. Maybe you can in some places, but not where I come from. So I thought that was odd. So this is spoiler discussion, so I'm giving you warnings. That did not happen. That was all in his mind. That was all a fantasy. And I liked how they did that, because I was thinking that it wasn't. And see right there when he opened the door, that's when he got his confidence. But that was all in his mind. It never happened. He just envisioned himself going after what he wanted, but he never actually did it. So it's all about, he get caught up in his fantasies, and that's why it's a little hard to trust things you see in this movie, because it's coming from him. He's a unreliable narrator. So and he's pretty much in every scene. And like I said, he's an unreliable narrator, so it's things that they might have showed that happened that might not really happen. So they show things that sometimes you don't know if it's just in his mind or if it's happening, So, he go from there, he's got his confidence. So now he's trying to do his stand-up. So now he's going to do his stand-up. So he's been trying to be a stand-up comedian. He's been taking notes. He's been watching other comedians, which was kind of messed up when he watched comedy shows and he laughed at the wrong time. So he's a weird guy. So he's been taking notes. He's trying to be this comedian. So he goes on the show. He goes on his local stand-up comedy club. He goes on, and he's got, and I didn't mention on this discussion, but he has this condition where he can't stop laughing, where he'll start laughing, and he can't stop laughing, which, falls in line with the Joker. But he gets on stage, and he just laughing, like, before he tell any jokes, because he can't stop laughing. It's kind of sad, seeing somebody get on stage and just bomb. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to tell a joke. So he started telling some jokes. I guess the people kind of feel sorry for him, so they kind of like laughed a little bit, like, okay, we're just gonna laugh, and so he can do his little skit. He can do his bit, and then he can get off the stage, because I feel sorry for this guy. I felt like that's what the audience was thinking. So they didn't just boo him or whatever, So he was feeling good about himself after that. He was feeling good about himself after that. So he thought he did a good job, doing the stand-up, but so Robert De Niro character is like this night show host. So he kind of like Jay Leno, Johnny Carson or something. And he got a hold of the footage of him, bombing on stage, and he, showed it on his show, which is kind of messed up, and made it a joke out of it. And, from there on, Arthur Fleck is right now is getting a little he's already getting agitated, and don't forget he got this gun too. He's getting agitated about his life because nothing's really going right. At one point things were going right for him. He thought he was doing good, and his mother gets sick, and he just think that okay, things ain't going right now, and then now the police is kind of closing in on him, and this part I had a problem with. The police should have known right away that he was the person they was looking for. He just got fired from his job, a clown job, for carrying a gun, and somebody just got killed on the subway by the same kind of gun that the guy told that he gave to the guy that just got fired. It was just so obvious that it was him. When the police doing their investigation, they like, "Oh, we got some questions for you." I would have took him in right there. Maybe you didn't have no proof or whatever, but you had to at least take him in for questioning. They asked him a couple questions, they left. And then they started kind of figure out it was him who did the shooting on the subway. So that brought the police is getting closing in on him. So I think he got to a point where he was like, this is gonna be it, and I'm just gonna make a statement before I go. So it was things he did. So he went with this newfound confidence, and felt like he had nothing left to lose, and newfound confidence. He went and took out a person that he thought did him wrong. He did that, and then of course, and then at the last at the end, the Johnny Carson character. I'm sorry, the Robert De Niro character. I forget his name, the guy, but he's the talk show host. Invited Arthur Fleck on the show so he can, talk about the little bit he did, because he got a lot of ratings for that. And so he figured, like, when I get on this show, I am going to do my whole thing. And this was like this part right here where he's going down the steps. This is right before he got to the show, because he got all this confidence and he doing all this dancing and he feeling himself. And so they go to the show. Now, mind you, they alluded to him maybe shooting himself, because he was like, okay, I'm gonna make a statement. I might shoot myself on live TV or something, But as the movie went on, at the end where you thought he might shoot himself, he didn't do it. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's not gonna do it. He's just gonna go on the show. So he admitted on TV, hey, I killed the guys on the subway. And, it was like, what the hell, So then the Robert De Niro character was kind of he's kind of a jerk. So he kind of, pressing him a little bit. It's like, why'd you do that? That's wrong. And, the Joaquin Phoenix character was, Arthur Fleck character was kind of like, hey, people push people around so much, and they never think about what it is to be that guy to get pushed around. I'm the guy that nobody never cared about, nobody want to see, So it was kind of like, it's kind of a lesson too about how people treat people. Maybe you should think about what you do to people. I know it's because I know a lot of people. It's all about themselves, and they don't quite mean to be like that, but it's just that's the way it is. And this movie kind of like shed a light on that. You should think about other people sometime. And it's not saying like just do things, just think about the people that you rude to or whatever. Sometimes it's like it's just the way this country treat each other, man. It's just like sometimes just look at that. And they kind of want to shed a light on that. So that's why this end was kind of real controversial. So he just shot the Robert De Niro character, shot him in the head, like, wow, on the show, live TV. It was kind of messed up. It was real messed up. I'm sorry. It was real messed up. It kind of bothered me a little bit because it kind of seemed realistic almost. So that's the part was just a little hard. It was a little hard to take in, and because I just felt like, wow, that was brutal, So he just kind of like, got his revenge. And, he didn't do nothing after that, They take him to Arkham Asylum after that. And, I'll give you the last shot. It was a scene in which we're not sure if this would happen, but the people, like I said, he spawned this little following where people was wearing this clown mask. And, they got him and they So they was taking him to jail. They hit him with somebody stole the ambulance. They hit him with the ambulance. They took him out, and he stood on the car doing his dance, and then he did the Joker smile on his face. So that was kind of like, now he is the Joker. That made him the Joker. Now I'm not sure if this really happened, because as you see in the movie, he do get caught up in his fantasies. So you don't know when you see something like that if it's actually happening or if it was all in his head. So at the end, they show him in Arkham Asylum, and you don't know, did he just, was this all an illusion? Was this all the fantasy in his head? We don't know. So he's a Joker. He's now in Arkham Asylum. And I have not talked about the Batman stuff. So let's talk about the Batman stuff. Yes, they did go there. They did have Thomas Wayne, his Batman's father, and they showed Bruce when he's like 8, and they made it clear that his name was Bruce. And they had Alfred, but they didn't call him by name. But so he went to Thomas Wayne's house because his mother's sick mother told him, Thomas Wayne, I used to work for him. And he think that Thomas Wayne is his dad. So he thought he's going to go confront his dad. So he go to the Wayne's house. And the butler told him, hey, you can't see Thomas Wayne. Don't come here. Which the butler was most likely Alfred. And Alfred like, get out of here. Your mama was sick. You're not his son. And then, Bruce, standing right there. And, so this is the game changer right here. The game changer is they show Bruce's parents get killed. So during that little riot, when they escaped, when the Joker escaped and got on the car, was in victory, they had Bruce. They had the Waynes killed right there, and that is the beginning of Batman. So now we can start the Batman saga from this movie. So that's why I said you can start from this and you can use it in this universe, which is gritty. So I'm thinking the next Batman movie is going to be very gritty, which I'm really looking forward to. So that is my spoiler discussion for Joker. It's a game changer. I believe it's going to start a whole new Batman universe, and we get a whole new look on the criminals in Gotham and all that. So can't wait to see where all that go. Todd Phillips did an amazing job putting this movie together and making Gotham. So can't wait to see the new Batman, the Batman. So I can't wait to see when that's come out and what's they gonna do with that. So we'll see. So thanks for checking out the video. I'm gonna wrap up. Thanks for checking out the video, and give me some thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel. And I'm out of here. Peace.